Right, we're looking at trig identities here, and when you do this sort of thing, you basically ignore one side and use the other side and try and get the side you've ignored. And whenever you're using trig identities, so we're going to have to use this in some way, shape or form. So you've got tan x equals sine x over the cosine of x. All right, that's the first one. And the other one you might need to use, okay, and probably will need to use at some point, is this, and that you get from the unit circle, don't you? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ignore this one. This is what I want to get at the end, and this is what I'm going to mess about with, basically, using these things here. Alright, so I'm going to be using these things here, alright, mess about with him to see if I can get the 1 plus sine squared theta over 1 minus sine squared theta. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say, well, if tan x equals sine x over cos x, tan squared x equals sine squared x over cos squared x. So, that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go 2 lots of sine squared of theta over cos squared of theta, alright, plus 1. Alright, so that's my first step. That might well get me a mark, if I'm totally honest. Now, I don't want any coses in there, so I need to change a cos to a sine. So my next step is going to be, well, here we go. So 2 lots of sine squared theta over 1 minus sine squared theta plus 1. Now, that's good, because 1 minus sine squared theta is what is on the bottom here. Excellent news. But I need to get what's on the top. Now, there isn't a sort of plus 1 hanging out of the end of the answer, as it were, of the identity. So therefore, I'm going to have to put everything over a common denominator. I'll do that in green. So my common denominator is going to become this 1 minus sine squared theta. And this 2 sine squared theta. Now then, I need to, this plus 1 here, okay, becomes 1 over 1 minus sine squared theta. Okay, so these two bits here, okay, are equal to 1. Alright, I'm now going to simplify the top of the fraction, so I can just rewrite this bottom as sine squared theta, and we've got 2 sine squared thetas minus a sine squared theta gives me a sine squared theta. Excellent, that's what I'm looking for, and I've got that 1 left over. There you go. Alright, it's yeah, step at a time. Where you get the marks here would be, I would have thought 1, 2, 3, or actually it's probably those two would be 1 there, 1 there, 1 there. Right, but ultimately you have to remember these two things, alright, because they're what you're going to be using every single time you get a question on this.